Hello students, I am Dinesh Kumar, TGT English at JNV Cathal. Today we are going to read the lesson A Truly Beautiful Mind. This lesson is about the great scientist Albert Einstein. You will be able to come to know why he was the world's brilliant scientist. Before we begin to read the lesson, let's have a look at the objective of this lesson. First of all, to enable you to develop your interest in reading prose. Next, to develop the scientific temper of the students. To enable you to enrich your vocabulary. To develop the habits of reading for information and pleasure, drawing inferences from what they read and relating text to their previous knowledge. To learn to read critically and to develop the confidence to ask and answer questions. To encourage the learners to express their own ideas in a creative and coherent way. Dear students, these are the objectives. The objective that you should be able to read the prose with interest. As you know, this lesson is about the world's great scientist. That is why you are supposed to develop the scientific attitude. When you will read this lesson, definitely you will come across some new words. So the next objective is to increase your vocabulary, and it's our objective to develop in you the ability and the confidence so that you can ask and answer the question put to you, or you can freely express your own ideas in an innovative and in a logical way. Next, the introduction of the lesson. Dear students, this chapter is about Albert Einstein. He was a great scientist. As I told you in the beginning, the title of the chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, refers to Albert Einstein. This is a short biography of his life where some of his qualities have been highlighted. Albert Einstein interest in mathematics and physics, and also his humanitarian attribute. The title, A Truly Beautiful Mind, makes one wonder that how can a scientist's mind be beautiful? It is so because in this lesson we come across another aspect of Einstein. He was a humanitarian. He advocated world peace, non-violence, and that is why the title refers to him as a truly beautiful mind. Dear student, no doubt he was a world's brilliant scientist, but apart from this, he was a great humanitarian. He emphasized the need of the peace and prosperity in the world. That is why he is called a truly beautiful mind. Now we begin to read the lesson. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879. He was born in the German city of Ulm. His mother thought he was a freak because his head seemed too large. He didn't speak till the age of 2.5. His nickname in school was Brother Boring. Freak means a person who behaves abnormally, or you can say a person who doesn't behave in a normal way. Einstein was born in the German city of Ulm on 14th March 1879. According to his mother, he was a freak, means he didn't behave in a normal way. Moreover, his head was too large and he was unable to speak till the age of 2.5. And his playmates, his classmates used to call him by the nickname Brother Boring. The youngster played by himself much of the time. He especially loved mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister, Maza, he is said to have said, "Fine, but where are your wheels?" Mechanical means connected with machines. As you know, his playmates used to call him by the name Brother Boring. That is why most of the time he used to play by himself, and he had developed a great love for the mechanical toys. Once, looking at his newborn sister, he asked, "Where are her wheels?" This shows his deep interest in the mechanical things or in the machines, you can say. His headmaster told his father that he'll never make a success at anything. He began learning to play the violin when he was 6 years old because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted amateur violinist. Once his headmaster told his father that Einstein will never get success in anything, will never get success in any field, whatever the field may be. He is never going to be successful in his life. And at the age of 6 years, he began learning to play the violin because his mother wanted him to learn and play the instrument. Later, because of his hard work and interest, he became amateur violinist. Amateur means doing something for personal enjoyment. Next, Albert went to high school in Munich. He scored good marks in almost every subject. He hated the school's regimentation and often argued with his teachers. When he was 15, he hated the school so much that he left it for good. Regimentation means strict discipline. For good means forever. Albert joined the school in Munich for his higher education, and he was performing well and scoring good marks in almost every subject. But he didn't like the school's regimentation, means the strict discipline of the school, and he often clashed with his teachers. At the age of 15, he left the school forever because he hated that school. He continued his education in German speaking Switzerland, in a city which was more liberal than Munich. He was highly gifted in mathematics and physics. He also studied in the University of Zurich. Liberal means willing to respect others' opinions. After his education in Munich, when he left the school, he continued his education in German speaking Switzerland, the city, the place which was supposed to be more liberal than Munich, means here the other person's opinions were respected much. As I have told you earlier, he was highly gifted in the subjects mathematics and physics. Further, he also studied in the University of Zurich. Next, dear students, he felt a special interest in a fellow student named Mileva Maric. He saw in her an ally. She was from Serbia and had come to Switzerland because it was one of the only places in Europe which had a college where women could get degrees. Ally means a friend or an associate. Albert Einstein started taking interest in fellow student named Mileva Maric. He considered him his friend, and Mileva Maric was from Serbia and had come to Switzerland to get degrees from the college, one of the colleges in Europe, the places where the women could get degrees easily. They soon fell in love and were known to exchange letters that mixed science with tenderness. One such letter from Einstein was, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. Dear students, tenderness means politeness and victorious means triumphed. Who wins? Soon they both fell in love and they started exchanging letters of love. Both were interested in the field of science, and a letter from Einstein is there in which he has written, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion." Dear students, they both were doing their work on the theory of relativity, and Albert Einstein expressed that he would be feeling very happy and proud if their work is recognized by the world, or if it bears any result, if it proves fruitful, he will be feeling very happy and proud. At 21, he was a university graduate but unemployed. He only secured a job at the age of 23 as a technical expert in the patent office at Bern. While he was supposed to be assessing others, he invented his own ideas in secret. Patent means a written document which gives rights of invention to inventor. At the age of 21, no doubt he was university graduate, but he was unemployed. He was without any job. He was able to secure a job at the age of 23 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. At the same time, he was assessing others, but secretly he was developing his own ideas to bring forth the theory of relativity, so that his theory of relativity can be successful. He was working secretly on his theory. In 1905, his papers on special theory of relativity described the world's most famous formula. It described the relationship between mass and energy, that is, E is equal to mc square. In 1905, special theory of relativity gave the world the best formula, that is, E is equal to mc square. E here stands for energy, m for mass, and c for the speed of light in a vacuum. Einstein wanted to marry Mileva right after college, but his mother was against it. She thought Mileva was too old for him. They finally got married in 1903 and had 2 sons, but a few years later the marriage faltered. Faltered means became unsuccessful. Just after the college, Einstein wanted to marry Mileva, but his mother was against this marriage. The reason was that she thought Mileva was too old for him. But they finally got married and had 2 sons. But just after the marriage, just after a few years, the marriage became unsuccessful. But Mileva was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. They finally divorced in 1919. Einstein married his cousin Elsa in the same year. Intellectual here means ability to think and understand things logically, and Mileva was losing her intellectual ambition means her thinking and understanding power he was losing. That is why now he was an unhappy housewife, and the result was that they finally divorced in 1919. But the Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. In 1915, he had published his general theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. The newspapers called his work as a scientific revolution. For his genius, he was given the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. Interpretation means explanation. In 1915, his general theory of relativity was published, and it gave a new explanation of gravity, and the newspaper recognized his work as a great revolution in the field of science. It was described by the newspaper as a scientific revolution, and for his genius, for his versatile for his versatility, he was given the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. In 1933, the Nazis came to power in Germany, so he immigrated to the United States. He was deeply shaken by the extent of destruction caused by the atom bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Extent means limit. Destruction means damage. As soon as the Nazis came to power in Germany, Albert Einstein moved to United States. And dear students, you know that an atom bomb was dropped in the two cities of Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He was so much shaken, deeply shaken by the destruction, damage caused by the atom bomb in two cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He wrote a public missive to the United Nations to form a world government. He spoke against the arms buildup. He campaigned for peace and democracy. When Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76, he was celebrated as a visionary and world citizen as much as a scientific genius. A missive means a letter, especially a long and official. A visionary means a person who has original and genuine idea about what the future will be like. Seeing the destruction in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he was deeply shaken, and he wrote a official letter, missive, to the United Nations for the formation of world government. And he was also against the arms buildup. Moreover, he emphasized on the need of peace, prosperity and democracy in the world. Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76. When he died, he was celebrated as a visionary and a world citizen as much as a scientific genius. No doubt he was a genius, he was a versatile in the field of science, he was a great scientist, and he was a world citizen because he was a great humanitarian. Moreover, he had genuine original ideas about the future. I mean, what should be the future. That is why he is a visionary and a world citizen, including a scientific genius. Dear students, the message we get from this chapter is this account of life and personality of the famous scientist Einstein gives us the message that a beautiful mind possesses not only the innovative ideas but also makes sincere efforts to use these ideas for the well-being of the mankind. Dear student, this means that the message that a beautiful mind does not possess the innovative creative ideas, but he applies these ideas for the welfare of the mankind, for the humanity. Science should be solely devoted to the promotion of worldwide peace and prosperity. Science should be devoted for the promotion of the peace, prosperity in the world. If used for destructive purposes, the scientific inventions and discoveries can wreak havoc on the earth. If the science is used for the destructive purpose, then these scientific inventions and discoveries are of no use. They then can only bring destruction on the earth, and that can be very dangerous for the humanity. So, dear students, I hope you have well understood the lesson. Thank you.